Annie the Musical is coming to Chicago, playing at the Cadillac Palace Theater, March 7th through the 19th. Stefanie Londino plays Miss Hannigan. Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, my pleasure. Glad to be here. We can't wait. Woo!
I mean, especially with this show, let's talk a little bit. I mean, usually it is somebody's very first show. People grow up with the movie, people grow up with the music, and you're seeing those audiences. I mean, this is their very first time, in a theater.
Yeah, it's been a really wonderful mix of all the generations, because we're getting like a three-generation family event out of it. Your kid's first time, mom taking their kid who's seen it, and her first show was Annie 30 years ago or whatever, and grandma's there and she remembers Carol Burnett doing it. And, it's just kind of a magical, multi-generational, all family affair.
Miss Hannigan, obviously, you get to have a lot of fun with that character, and everyone is anticipating, when Miss Hannigan comes out. Tell me a little bit about preparing. I can already see you biting your lip. Yeah.
Yes, yes, she is a special treat. She is a special, special treat. Yeah, and I think she has a lot of history attached to her. Some extraordinary women have played her in the past and put their own spin on it. So I'm just honored every night to be able to kind of bring you my Aggie Hannigan, and then I'd love to. We're excited to have Chicago get a taste of it.
As far as the cast, because sometimes when we interview people for different shows that come through town, it's we get to go to these nightclubs, we get to go downtown, we get to do sightseeing. But with so many kids in the cast, I mean, I saw you loading up on chicken fingers. I mean, tell me a little bit about what the company's like, especially with so many kids.
Yeah, so we have seven girls who travel with the company, each with a mom with them, one girl with a dad, and yeah, they're for a little squad of 10 to 15-year-olds, they are startlingly mature, and of course, absolutely silly. But they kind of we scoop them right up. They've really kind of made their mark on the company, and we're all pretty beloved of each other in that way. So I feel like it's a great squad, and we do our fair share of shenanigans, as I call them. But yeah, no, it's a lovely group, and it gives the whole squad kind of a family feel.
That is amazing because when you hear about a show like this is either someone that like when they were in grade school is one of their very first productions. It's someone's first show that they go see, and this is really a springboard for someone to want to have a career in theater. So I mean that's what I love especially about a show like this because it's almost like a gateway for families to connect, but also for young kids to say, "Oh, I see a young kid on stage. I want to go ahead and do this when I grow up, or not even when I grow up, when
Yeah,
I'm still young."
yeah, there's definitely an element of that. I feel like our fans skew young for sure. We've got a lot of Annie aged girls that are kind of like very invested, involved with following us on Instagram, and and kind of they love the behind the scenes shenanigans. And so it's been fun to kind of share that with that age group, and kind of encourage people to follow their dreams and to pursue whatever speaks to them. So that's been a kind of an unexpected beautiful part of this job for me.
So many iconic songs in this show. What's the vibe like in the theater with the company once you start hearing a few of those notes and everyone's like been waiting for a particular song?
Oh, it's exciting, for a crowd to come to a show like this with so much recognition. You know the songs, and you're gonna leave humming them, I promise. So it's a wonderful kind of nostalgic trip, but we're bringing some new things to it. So I'm excited for Chicago to get a taste of our Annie, because there's a lot of this is a show about humanity. This is about people in a struggle, in a serious struggle. It's in the middle of the Great Depression, a really dark time for our country, and how they deal with it in their various ways. Some with the alacrity of Annie, who finds hope and joy and optimism in it, and some with real struggle, like others of us, who have a hard time hanging on to their humanity in light of the circumstances. So it's a kind of a beautiful piece, and we're just excited to share it.
And Miss Hannigan's costumes. Let's talk a little bit about that and preparing to get on stage.
Alejo Vietti designed the costumes for this show, and he's just an absolute phenom. His work has been all over Broadway and international, and to wear his clothes is absolutely stunning. And of course, he knew the cast coming in, so all of the initial sketches are of us. So like the Hannigan drawings are me in the costumes, which was just such a wild and extraordinary experience. Yeah, Hannigan's dresses are all, off kilter and crooked and in crazy patterns that you wouldn't think would go together, and just stunningly beautiful costumes throughout the show. So you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck in terms of gorgeous production value here. Wilson Chin, Broadway set designer, did our whole set. Our Philip Ailman's our lighting guy. I mean, we just have a top-notch design team of creatives that built this beautiful piece, and it's a privilege to wear these costumes and rock the show every night under their gorgeous design.
I want to talk a little bit about Miss Hannigan's mannerisms and her voice, and because obviously people have different interpretations of how her movements and the way that she talks to Annie and talks to the other kids. I mean, tell me a little bit about having fun with that, and what the reaction from the audience.
Oh yeah. Well, obviously, the part is it's hilarious. The book is so funny. I mean, it's tragically humorous because she's just so miserable, and it's just hilarious to watch. You'll see a definite influence of the Carol Burnett version. She's in my version for sure. But there's a lot of me in there, and there's a lot of other ladies in there too. So I'm excited for Chicago to get to see kind of my Hannigan, the Londino Hannigan, if you will.
Awesome. Well, Stefanie, thank you so much for your time today. Annie coming to the Cadillac Palace Theater March 7th through 19th. BroadwayInChicago.com is where you get ahead and get those tickets. And of course, enjoy the River Green. It's going to be there for the whole weekend. And you got to get a big company photo outside there.
Can't wait. Love it.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today.